Hi, let's talk about the Kano model. In this clip, we're going to through the origins of the Kano model, an introduction, a walkthrough, and a practical use of the model. Let's look at the origin of the Kano model. It was invented by Noriaki Kano in the 1980s. He's a professor, and he received the Deming Prize in 1997. The model shows the extent to which a product meets customer expectations, and you can also use it to design products. And one of the principles are that you need to find characteristics that increase customer satisfaction. It'll have to be part of the products in the future, just to cover the basic needs. So what we expect today as part of a product is going to be even more so in the future. What we're happy about today in a product is what is a basic need in the future. So with global competition, it goes faster and faster. Our product demands are higher and higher, and that's where you can use the Kano model. So let's go through an introduction. The Kano model classifies product features based on how they are assessed by customers. So as in everything with Six Sigma, it's the customers who decide what's value, as we think about it in Lean. Thus, the voice of the customer. This is where you can use the Kano model. So you identify customer needs. You determine the functionality requirements based on those needs. You can also use it for concept development. And you can analyze competing products and classify them. The key elements in the model is that you divide product features into three categories: basic, performance, and attractive. Remember again, this is viewed from the customer, not the organization. So even though this can be ungrateful that customers expect more and more and move their demands from attractive to basic, that's the way of the world. Competition is more and more aggressive. And again, the idea is that a competitive, skillful product should meet the basic characteristics if we want to sell it. We will also want to maximize performance characteristics, number 2, first one, and have as many attractive features as possible for the price. So we have to find a balance, because everybody can make great products, but the balance is how do you price them so customers will buy them. So let me take you through the model. So this is the Kano model in graphics. And again, we're looking from the customer's perspective. And we have two axes. We have satisfied and dissatisfied. That's how the customers view our products. And then the product can be not implemented and fully implemented. And these arrows, the 3 arrows, are how the customers can react on these axes. So let's start with the basic needs. If a basic need on the green line is not implemented, of course the customer will be very dissatisfied. This could be something very basic. If the product, if the feature or the characteristics is fully implemented, he will not be super satisfied. This is what he expects. That's what the basic need stands for. So if the basic need is not implemented, very dissatisfied. If it's implemented, just an average satisfaction. If you look at performance needs, you can say if it's not implemented, they can also get very satisfied. This is where the products compete. Many products have the basics needs covered, where they're much alike. But performance is where you can really make a difference. So if performance needs are not implemented, they can get very dissatisfied, And if they are fully implemented, you can see they can get very satisfied. And then we have delighters. Delighters is something that you didn't expect, but you get anyway in the product. So if it's not implemented, because we didn't expect it, we won't be that dissatisfied. But if it's implemented on this axis, we will be very satisfied, and it can actually increase the performance according to performance needs. It can increase the satisfaction compared to performance needs. So delighters can sometimes be very expensive, but it can be the one thing that gets communicated in the press or what the customers remember. And the main idea is that this model changes all the time. What was a basic need? What was a delighter a long time ago? In a new model, maybe it's a basic need. If you look at mobile phones, this changes very aggressively 2 or 3 times a year. And every time somebody invents a characteristic that was a delighter, just takes 6 to 12 months, then it's a basic need. And we are not satisfied if it's not in the basic functionality. So it's a constant competition, trying to find delighters and performance needs. Let me give you some more information concerning the model. So over here, basic properties. The description. Customers expect that these properties are fully present and integrated. Integrated means that they work. Also, otherwise it will cause discontent. And the idea is that satisfaction does not rise when they are present, because that's what we expected when we bought the product. But it will certainly fall if they are not. For example, brakes on a car. We expect that there are brakes and they work. Audio of a TV. We want and expect the audio to work on a TV. And of course, we will be dissatisfied if it doesn't. So the key word here is the characteristics must be there. Okay, number 2, performance characteristics. We want these, and this is what would you typically see in commercials. This is what the companies try to sell their products on. We have this and this performance, and our competition does not. But we also know that we don't expect to get them all of them on full extent. So if they're there, we have an increase in satisfaction, and we will also have a fall if it's not present, especially if it's been communicated in commercials. For example, low price on cars will be dissatisfied if the car is more expensive than it was advertised, and the same with economy mode on TV. So the keyword here, more is better. And finally, attractive properties. So customers are not expecting these properties, but are happy when they're present. So this is where you get the wow factor, the surprise factor. And the idea is that satisfaction increases when these properties are present, but it does not fall if they're not. It's kind of a luxury add-on to the product. Some examples of at the moment, wireless charging of your phone will be attractive, but we do not expect it. We're used to plugging it in our charger. Self-parking cars will be attractive in the mainstream product of cars. But if it's not there, we are used to parking the car ourselves. So it's kind of a luxury, and that's where you get the wow factor. And the keyword here is it's latent needs. So we don't know we want it, but is positively surprised when we get it. And remember again, it's dynamic. Wireless charging, when you hear this could be a basic property. Self-parking cars, we know what Tesla is doing and all the automobile makers are doing. This is going to be standard in a while. So it's dynamic, and it's a good idea to look at your products using the Kano model and say, okay, where's the market right now? Where are we gonna be? What latent needs are there? What other needs are there for the customers in the future? And let's design the products so they meet that needs. Let's look at the flow. First off, we identify the voice of the customer. Then we translate the voice of the customer to product features. We take those product features and categorize them, and we have the three categories. And finally, we evaluate the product from the present product features and categories. Let's look at the practical use. We ask the customer these simple questions. Assess your satisfaction if the product has this property, and assess your satisfaction if the product does not have the property. And please use the following options: satisfied, neutral, and poor. So you take the different product characteristics and ask the customer to categorize it according to these options. And then you can put it into the model. Thank you for listening.